I'd like to welcome Peter Bressler. Peter is our speaker today with breakthrough opportunities for strategic growth. We're talking about new product development and innovation. And Peter, I wanted to talk to you about the word innovation and how that throws people and maybe prevents people from moving forward with product development. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think innovation is one of those words that unfortunately is getting overused. And it's getting overused because people don't know what it means. And so I think a lot of the fear factor is really a lack of understanding of the fact that innovation can be a little bit and it can be a lot. And incremental innovation is probably 95% of the innovation that goes on. But everybody thinks when you're talking about innovation that you've got to have this huge breakthrough. And those kinds of breakthroughs are really hard to control, and they don't make for efficient business. So that's scary.
Do you find that most companies are missing the boat in terms of product development and having a robust or a system or an environment conducive to product development, creative development, to get to the ideas that even could be incremental?
I think it's very difficult, frankly, for a company, particularly small companies, to, unless they're led by an extremely dynamic entrepreneur, it's very difficult for those kinds of companies to maintain what you might call a creative culture, because they're trying to get enough control and efficiency that they can operate profitably on a consistent basis. And in order to enable a creative environment, you have to let things go a little wild from time to time. And you have to let people make mistakes, and mistakes can be expensive. And you need to have support from the top to support the fact that it's okay to do that. And very frequently, the 3M Post-it note was a mistake.
Right. Good point. So actually, you bring up another aspect to this: leadership support, leadership empowerment, leadership involvement. Maybe pretty important to the product development success aspect of.
It's much more than pretty important. It's truly critical. I mean, I think given all the articles on innovation and when it works and when it doesn't work and what kills it, more often than not, the thing that really kills it first is not having the support from upper management or the very highest management in the company for the task you've been assigned. And if you don't have that support, then either the people on the team are going to get scared that what they're doing is going to get them in trouble, or you're going to come up with this wonderful idea or set of ideas or product line or whatever it is that's going to put the company on the map. And if management doesn't support it, then you've really wasted a lot of time, and people don't like wasting their time because it doesn't enhance their careers.
Good point. What are the typical shortfalls that most companies run up against in terms of getting products out the door, from the beginning stage of creative ideation through to having a solid idea and coming up with a product that's materialized and commercialized and into the markets? What are some of the typical shortcomings, maybe, or the easy whiffums that might be?
Okay, I think there are, and this is really off the top of the head, but there are several points in the product development process where there are more holes than there could be. Up front, as we were just discussing, it's enabling an environment that's creative enough to absorb and identify the conflicts that are needed to solve the problems, so that a user, when they see the new product, says, oh, I need that, because I understand it. Because I understand it represents fulfillment of a need I have, whether it's functional or emotional or whatever it happens to be. There's then the mistake that companies make where they feel they can't afford user testing and research on directions they're going. And it's a lot cheaper to afford research on the directions they're going and get user feedback than it is to have a dead product or to have to redo it.
It's not prohibitive. It's what's going to help
scary
you be more
sounding.
successful. Right.
It's scary sounding.
Yep.
But it in fact is a very small incremental increase in the overall product development and launch costs. And then I think the last thing is that the people who originated the need for the product don't stay involved with the product development all the way through.
Teams.
So the team is not consistent, and as a result, what comes out at the end is not what's originated up front. And if up front was accurate, then the thing that's different is not going to be.
Good point.
At the end.
Good point.
So I think those three particular areas are something that companies could try to watch out for.
So I think that some of these things, as you mentioned, can actually enhance success, are not that big of a deal because they're going to truly make a big difference, but they're not scary. Market research is informing.
They sound scary.
They sound scary.
And very frequently people don't know what to do with
about that
market research.
Right.
They don't know how to target it properly so that it actually gives them the support they need for the right price.
To make informed decisions.
Exactly.
To go to the market.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that especially in our market, working with small, mid-sized companies and small, mid-sized manufacturers in particular, this is really critical. Product development and kind of not being afraid to move down this path and to be aware of and educate themselves in terms of these resources and the ability to actually be successful in the marketplace despite their size.
Well, I think you go back to what they say in the movies. Courage is being scared, knowing you're scared and doing it anyway. And I think it's that kind of courage that small and mid-sized companies need to muster in order to get over the hump of being afraid of doing new product development.
We're here with Peter Bressler. Peter Bressler founded the Bressler Group in 1970, and Peter, it was a pleasure speaking to you today.
Pleasure to speak with you, Mark.